Hello and welcome to Let's Draw. How are you today? Thank you very much for joining Let's Draw session. This is my name's Corp. I'm going to show you how to draw something really, really simple. All we're going to need is a Sharpie. Not even going to need a pencil today. Pencils for losers. That's a joke. We're going to need a Sharpie and a thin pen, and that's it. And we'll just spend about half an hour drawing a little monster kind of character. Yeah, that's what we're going to draw. Some nice, easy instructions. Anybody can take part. It doesn't matter what ability you are or what age you are. It's all wholesome. It's all fun. It's all going to be nice and easy to do. Okay, so yeah, we're doing this as part of the Corp Dogs project. So co-founder and man in the chair, dog in the chair, is here with me as well. Hi, Joff. How are you today?
Good evening. Yeah, pretty good.
Excellent stuff.
Yeah,
Any news?
it's been a good week so far.
Any news for us this week, Joff?
No, nothing at the moment. No, I've had a couple of days off from NFTs, crypto, that kind of stuff. Haven't turned on Discord for a couple of days, so it's been good. Feels healthy to be like that.
Sometimes you just got to take a break from things, haven't you? Just to realise, even if it's just to realise how much you miss them when you do get back on with it. So nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm glad you found time to have a little break. Hi, Aero Trish.
Well, I was working. That was the main reason. I was occupied with work, so
Took a few days
it's not all fun and games
to work. that doesn't sound right at all. Let's say a few hellos to everybody then as well, shall we? Just those of you that are in on time and early, thank you very much. Adam was first in. Hi, Adam. Tracy's in as well on YouTube. Who else is in on YouTube? I think that's it. We've got a few people watching there now, and a few people in the Discord as well. So, hi Natalie in the Discord. Hi Kipster. Hope you guys are doing good. We're going to start in a few seconds. I'll show you what materials you'll need. We're only going to be about half an hour tops for today's session. Normally, what we do is towards the end of the session, I tell you what I am doing today. I believe I'm giving away a colouring book if you're watching today. I forgot to set that up. How are we going to do that? If you're watching today, you will get a colouring book. I just got to figure. All you've got to do in the next 24 hours, you've got to go to our website. You see where it says corpacademy.com. Let's draw. Go there. For the next 24 hours, there will be a link there to download a digital colouring book. About 40 pages of stuff to download, print off, colour in, do whatever you want with it. But it will be there for you, okay? But it'll only be there for 24 hours, and I'm only telling you people that are watching live with us today, okay? It'll be there after the show's finished because I forgot to put the link on there, so I will just need to quickly go and do that. So maybe when we finish here, just give me 5 minutes and go and download it. Also, whilst we're on the subject of doing stuff, could you do me a favour? Can you just, if you see a heart button, tap a heart button. If you see a thumbs up button, tap the thumbs up button. If you see a share button, even better, share this with share this. Get your friends to tell their friends about what we're doing today. And yeah, we'll try and be back every Wednesday and do as much as possible. Thank you very much, whoever that was, for the I think it was a thumbs up. It just flew across the screen really quickly. If you want to share your artwork, make sure you get into the Discord. Again, all the links are in the website. So just go into the Corp Academy, just underneath Joff here, corpacademy.com, let's draw. Just get in there. It will show you the links to how to get into the Discord, any other ways of watching, other ways of supporting what we're doing as well. Okay. Should we get on with it? Let's start some drawing, shall we? I've been talking for 4 minutes now, which is way too long. So let me show you what materials we're going to use for today's session. It's usual stuff. Yeah, no pencil today. Fat pen, thin pen, stolen paper is what we're going for. So the fat pen I'm using today is just a Sharpie, just a regular Sharpie, nothing special about that. The thin pen I'm using today is a Faber-Castell Artist Pen Fineliner Black 199, which essentially any thin pen. It's like a 0.1, just a fine liner of any description will do, because that just rolls off the tongue, that name. So just something thin that we can add a few little details with afterwards. One of my top tips, whenever you're drawing, use that fat pen and thin pen combo. It's just going to make all your work look so much better. Get your primary lines in with the fat pen, go in with the thin pen, add all your extra little details and fun bits in there. And yeah, stolen paper. Stolen paper artwork always looks much better on stolen paper. So go to your local workplace, go to the office, get in the photocopier and rate it, and bring yourself a couple of sheets of paper. Bonus points for anybody who's actually drawing from work, because that's as close as I ever got to being an artist back in the day, was doing a sneaky drawing while at work, because I was being artistic and I was getting paid at the same time. So if you're doing that, good for you. That's awesome to know. Jeremiah's in as well. Hi. Anybody who is in and watching, let us know what your name is, where you're watching from, and yeah, we'll give you a bit of a shout out. So who was that? Was that Jeremiah's in? So yeah, we can give everyone a bit of a shout out. Jeremiah's in, Tracy's in. Thank you very much. Right, should we start drawing them? We're going to draw a little monster. Exactly, Silent X. It's the best way, yeah. I should probably point out, if anybody gets dismissed or on like a written warning as a result of leaving stealing paper, stationery, that doesn't come back on me. Right. Let's do it. Grab your Sharpie. What we're going to do first, we're going to go and throw in a mouth. So we're drawing a monster. It's going to be a triangular monster. We're not going to put any pencil lines in, just some sort of basic triangular monster. But we'll start off with like a happy sausage shape. So right in the middle of your page, go and throw in a happy sausage. A happy sausage looks like this. So called because it's a sausage shape and it curls up either end, making it a happy sausage. Hey C King, C Stitch from Discord. Thank you very much for joining on YouTube. Are you in Discord as well? No, you're not in Discord as well. But yeah, like I say, if you want to share your artwork, we will be having a quick review of everybody's artwork in Discord. So best place to share it is go to Discord. Again, links are all in the website down below. Right, everyone stuck in a happy sausage? So once you've stuck in your happy sausage, rule number one in the Corp Academy, and any teaching I do with drawing, is to double line everything you do. It's not about making your line twice as thick, it's about making your line twice as wonky. So just go over the whole thing again, make it wonky. A professional artist will call this, working on line weight. But we're not particularly professional, so we're just going to call it double wonky. And you're going to do this with all your lines. Make every single line you've got double wonky. Everyone got that in? What's next? Let's carry on with the mouth. So next bit's with the mouth. We're just going to put like a little bit of skin around this. So that's like the opening of the mouth. A little bit of skin around it. So just imagine like a little floater of a line. Just coming in there, going all the way around to about that point. Double line it. So because this is a floater, it is fat and wonky in the middle, that bit there. That's fat and wonky. The other bits are flicked off. If you struggle to flick off, just dot and dash it like that. As long as you dot and dash it everywhere, it will look great. So go and throw that in, and let's do the same kind of thing on the other side. So just landing about there, all the way around for a nice fat lip. Get down the bottom. As soon as you get down the bottom, just break it up a little bit. Double line it. In this bottom bit, let's just bring a lip back. Like that. So we've got a bottom lip, just little breakages just there. Yeah, that's nice. I like that. Should we go and work inside the mouth next? Let's work inside the mouth. We're going to go and give ourselves 4 teeth. The 4 teeth are just going to be big old V shapes. 2 big V's at the top, 2 small V's at the bottom. So here we go. Let's do that. 2 big V's at the top. Double line it. Like that. Nice and big. Strong intersections. That's rule number 2 in the Corp Academy. Strong intersections. Where lines join each other, like in a T-junction, like that, that's called an intersection. So we go a little bit thicker with that bit. It's where the shadows live. So that's why we go a little bit thicker. Let me just go, should we zoom in a little bit? Maybe not that much. Let's zoom in about that much. That's better, isn't it? You can see a little bit closer now what I'm doing. Next thing we'll do is we'll put in the tongue next, and then the tongue will help us position the bottom set of teeth, okay? So tongue, just 2 lines for the tongue. We're going to launch on this side, we're going to jump up, and we're going to flick down and across. Then we'll do the same on the other side. We'll launch on this side, we're going to flick up, and then we're going to flick down and across. Stop when you get to that original line. Are you ready for this then? So here's the tongue. Jump up, flick down and across like that. Don't touch the outside edge. That line you've just done, we're going to repeat that line. We're going to flip it over. We're going to start over here. We're going to jump up and we're going to flick down across this way, but stop when you get to the pen line. Okay, so from about there, look, jump up, flick across, stop when you get to the pen line, double line it, strong intersections, all the usual stuff. What that does, by putting the tongue in, just gives us a bit of an easier way then to just squeeze in a couple of little tiny teeth. So let's put some little tiny teeth down there, so you can just fit it around all the other furniture that is in the mouth. Let's finish off inside with some tonsils. My suggestion when you're doing tonsils is do the dangly bit first. Do the dangly bit and then do the outside, the rest of the hole. Okay, so here's the dangly bit. Do that little dangly bit first, and then from the top, either side of that U shape, from the top, you're just going to jump up and around and down. Okay, so up, around, down, up, around, down. And then we've got a little tonsil. Colour the back in black, right in the back of the throat. Colour it in black. How we doing? Everyone got that in? By the way, if anybody's got any questions, feel free to add your questions to the whatever chat you're watching on. Joff's keeping an eye on every single chat. He's the dog in the chair. He's got about 15 different screens in his basement, and he's watching every single chat going. So he won't miss a question. And yeah, any questions about art, any questions about corp dogs, any questions about maybe suggestions on what you'd like to draw next time round, that kind of thing. Go and throw some comments in, just so that we know we're not alone. Right, I think that's it for mouth. So that's step 1, mouth. Let's go to step 2, which is eyes. What are we doing with eyes? Let's go up a little bit. I'll zoom out so we can see the edge of the paper. So with these eyes, what we'll do is just 2 big old circles. Big old circles. You see these bits of the lips? We drew those in there so we can have the eyes growing from behind them, so we don't have like boring circular eyes. We can have them growing out from something. So let's go and do the same on both sides. Let's go for a big old eyeball. About there. That looks all right. Let's try and do something similar on the other side. So big old eyeball there. That's the kind of thing. Throw that in. Hey, Mirror Chap. Thank you very much for joining. Yeah, hopefully you're drawing along with us. What we like to do is every week do a little drawing session. Nice and accessible, so you only need not Posca pens. So you only need a Sharpie to take part. A Sharpie and a fine liner, just any kind of twin pen combo. And I'll show you how easy it is to draw, and hopefully you'll learn a few little tips and tricks along the way. Thank you for the thumbs up, whoever that was. Appreciate that. Right, what should we do with these pupils? Tracy says, do I have a favourite corp dog? Yeah, my favourite corp dog is the last one that just sold. That'll always be my favourite corp dog. Thanks, Mirchart. Mirchart likes the drawing style. You wait till we finish. Right, what should we do with the pupils? Go and throw in whatever kind of pupils you want to throw in on yours. I've been doing a lot of like U-shaped pupils, and I really like these U-shaped pupils. So yeah, this is what I'm going to go with. Look, like imagine a big bubble writing U-shape like that, and colour that in. It's a little bit weird, which I kind of like. It's not your regular, just a big old circle with a reflection in. Let's do something similar over on the other side, just a big old U-shape, bubble writing U-shape, colour it in because it's a hole into the eye. We'll add a few more little details with that later. But yeah, they're good as pupils. And what you can see what I've done with those as well, rather than putting them right in the centre of the eye, just bring them in a little bit. If you want to make your character look like it's spaced out, like it's a little bit stoned, then put them right in the middle of the eyeball, almost Simpsons style, and it just gives them a bit of a weirder look. If you want to make it look a little bit more normal, just bring them in, just tuck them in a little bit. What should we do next? So that's eyes. Let's go and put in a little bit of a flap of skin above the eye and a little bit of a flap of skin below the eye. So down below the eye, look, just a little bit of a flap there. Double line it. Up above the eye, let's start on the top of the eye let's start on the outside of the eye and go in. Okay, so like this. Let's start on the outside of the eye, go in, follow that line round. About the same point on the other side, outside the eye, go in, follow that line round. Flick it off if you can, and again, if you can't flick off, dot and dash it. Now, I didn't have a section for nose in here, but let's go and stick a nose in. So we'll just do a couple of little ripples, just in this little gap here between the eyes, usually where the nose lives. Let's go and put a line that goes from one side to the other. Again, double line it, make it wonky, but then go and do another one just above. How are we getting on with that? Just, stick a few more in if you want. There's no right or wrong with that. Just keep on going until you get bored with it. Maybe even flick a few little lines out like that. Nostrils. Should we put some nostrils in? Again, I wasn't really planning on doing nostrils, but look, a couple of little U shapes. Colour the top bits in, make them a little bit thicker. Try and flick off down the bottom. Yeah, I like how that's looking. Let's keep it going because we're only on stage 2 and we've got mouth, eyes, body, flips, snips, and shade to do. So we've just done the eyes. Let's go and do the body now. So for that bit, I am going to just zoom out a little bit. So let's get to that point. Let's go and whack in a head. So for the head, just a little V shape, a little soft V shape. Go from one side to the other. Let's go from about there to the other side. Remember, double line it, strong intersection. So where these two lines join on the eyebrow, you want to make that a little bit fatter. Where are we at next? Let's go down for the rest of the body. So it's like a triangular shape for this. Main thing actually for this is, and I probably should have said this at the start, let's try and leave ourselves a little bit of space either side because we are having some like little flippers coming out. So let's go and imagine like this line's coming there and it's coming out down the bottom and it goes across this side. It's coming out there, it comes out down the bottom and goes across, something like that. It looks like a bullet shape rather than a triangle shape. I've got to tell you though, when it comes to drawing, try not to be too stuck in your ways when it comes to drawing. If you've got an image in your head that you want to recreate, try as much as possible to forget that image, because trying to recreate that image in your head is, 99 times out of 100 going to be absolutely impossible. Sorry, Tracy. Best thing to do is start drawing something. If it starts looking like something else, then just go along with that. So mine's now starting to look more like a bullet than a triangle. It's not such a big deal. Why not make it look more like a bullet and just put some shiny bits on it or something like that? Yeah, Tracy, the only reason I was saying just trying to bring it in a little bit is because we are going to have some little fins flapping out here and just here. But if you haven't left yourself much space, then have them going off the page, or we'll have them just really small ones. It'll be fine. It's nothing to worry about. Yeah, just tape in some extra paper. Just draw it on the table, draw on the desk, whatever you've got. Squashed monsters will do, yeah. Right, where are we at now? So that's body. Let's do a little bit more on the body. Actually, what we're going to do is let's give our character a bit of a belly. So just out here, look. We're going to put a little line on that side, and over on this side, a similar kind of thing. And that just gives us a little bit of a belly, and we'll reinforce that belly with a few lines, curves going across. See the bottom curve of that mouth? Maybe just follow that a little bit. As you get closer to the bottom of the page, bring these lines closer, compress them closer together. Let me show you what I mean. So let's go and do a big one across there. Another one. You see how we're getting closer now? And it should just maybe make it look like the belly's just curled under a little bit. That's what we were going for. Let's take these corners. You see these corners just here and here. We're just going to soften those off a little bit. So let's just bring that line in whilst we're double lining it. Just soften those corners off a little bit. You see what we're doing here is just giving our belly a little bit more shape. Embracing the wonky lines as well. Always embrace those wonky lines. Wonky lines are easier to draw and, in my opinion, look much better as well. So let's throw that in. Right, flippers next. Flippers, what we're going to do with flippers, we're going to keep it a nice simple version for the flippers. We're going to flick 3 lines out, and then we're going to join the tips of those 3 lines in with like a little bouncy line, okay? So let's do the bottom bit first. Look, 3 lines out. How's it looking? It's going to go 1, 2, 3, like that. Flick those lines off. Fat and wonky as they join the body, but flicked off towards the end. And then let's join those together. Not right at the tip, just kind of bring it back a little bit with a bouncy line like this. We got that. Let's try and do something similar on the other side. So here we go. Look, 1, 2, 3. Fat and wonky in the middle again. Flicked off on the ends. And then join them together. Like that. Maybe put a few little holes in there as well. That kind of stuff, you know. Have a little bit of fun with it. Let's give our character some arms. The Magical Forest, thank you for joining. That's a really kind thing to say. Look at that. How nice is that? I relieve all the stress about drawing, and now you can't stop drawing. You are my Padawan. I teach people to doodle because doodling is drawing, is absent-minded drawing. So it's the ability to be able to draw without thinking too much about it. As soon as you start thinking about what you're going to draw, it starts to become a little bit more stressful. So I teach this technique called doodling, which is all about just, you know, drawing really simple things, really simple techniques, stuff that anybody can just really grasp and implement nice and easy. And it should get you to a point where you don't have to think too much. Like a character like this. We're taking our time. We're 23 minutes in. It's almost finished. And I didn't even start till 4 minutes in. So we're actually, this is a 19-minute drawing so far. But thank you. Appreciate it. Jedi Doodle. Let's go and put these little flippers we had down the bottom. Let's go and put some up the top as well. Just going to make it look like they're arms. So flick, flick, flick. Make it a little bit thicker at the top, flicked off at the ends. You want to try and get that like tapered end to your lines. Join those up, a real delicate touch as you join those up, so you're only barely touching the paper, so you get a fairly thin line with it. Let's do the same kind of thing on the other side. Look, flick, flick, flick. Cairo will be loving this. Loads of flicking off all over the place. Join it together. Little bouncy line. Put some holes in. Something like that. Maybe those little joins. You see where we've got these like, I guess shoulder joins, ankle joins. Let's just round these off a little bit as well. Let's just make them look a little bit more attached. Get how fat and dark those areas are. That looks really nice. I don't know what this character is, what it is. Okay, we're on the home straight now, so whack in some nipples. Maybe put a few sets in along the rest of the belly. Why not? Little double-ended flick-offs. Those little shapes that you've done there, go and put some of those upside down inside the tongue. This will look great as like little taste buds in the tongue. So look, just go in there, look. Go and throw a few bits in. How's that look? Yeah, that's looking all right. Last little bit with the fat pen, just thicken out the bottom part. Just want to thicken out this bottom bit here. And just to make it look like it's sitting in a puddle or in a wet patch. So you saw how I did that little curve, just a little drop shadow. It just makes it look a lot more grounded, so it's not like floating there. How's that look? So just chuck something in, see how it looks. If it looks okay, well done. If it don't look okay, then just tweak it a little bit. Put a little shadow coming out there as well. How's that? Try not to think about it too much, just chuck it in, see what happens. There you go, look how that looks much better now. Okay, let's whip over to our thin pen. This is why I like doing this like fat pen, thin pen combo. Get all your primary lines, all your really important lines done with your fat pen, and then get them with a thin pen and just add loads of little details and things. So what we'll do is on this, we're going to start at the top. We're going to work our way down on this. Okay, so my thin pen is a 0.1, so much thinner than the Sharpie that we've just been using. So let me zoom in, and we'll start at the top. Like I say, work our way down. Let's see how close in I can get. There we go. Look at that. That's a proper zoom. Thin pen. First thing to do, let's maybe go and put in some drips on our character. So just across the top, just little U shapes all over the place. That looks all right. Maybe put some little spots in as well. If you put any spots in, try maybe shading them out. Look, see what happens when you shade them out. Just getting a little bit of texture in there is what we're going for. Any of these like ends that you think, right, I didn't do a particularly good job of that end, you could then get in with your thin pen and just tidy that up, make it a lot sharper. I wouldn't worry too much about it. It'll be fine. Let's get down into those eyes next. So what we're going to do in the eyes is we're going to make those pupils look a little bit more like they are holes that have got a bit of a ridge to them. So let's go in. Look, just watch this. We'll put in a little thin line there. And we'll do the same down here. Broken at the ends. Thin and broken at the ends. Fat and wonky in the middle. We've got a little bit of a ridge now appearing on there. Getting to the rest of the eye, let's put some little circles and things. When you're in the middle of the eye, it wants to be a circle. When you're on the edge of the eye, it wants to be an oval. So that oval there, circle there, that kind of thing. Let's do the same or something similar on the other side. Nice and quick now. We know what we're doing. Broken around the edge, fatter and wonkier around the middle. Throw in some circles, maybe even throw in some bloodshot eyes. Best way of drawing bloodshot eyes is to draw the shadow of a vein, so it's going to look like a capital Y. Something like that. Let's go and do another one over on this side. See, just a capital Y, a bubble writing capital Y. You could just do a normal capital Y. That looks good as well. You'll get away with that. Let's move down. What we're going to do, let's put a little bit of shading in the nostrils. Make them a little bit darker. Getting into the mouth next. Let's move down to the mouth. I want to make the back of the mouth look a little bit darker. So, boring bit, this. Lines all the way top to bottom, all the way around the back of the mouth. If you want to put a bit of colour on, this is probably where you'd want to just throw some colours in. But I love this session being just black pen, so anybody can take part. You just need to have a couple of Sharpies, well, a Sharpie and a thin pen. Don't always have to have a pencil. It's advisable. But just to know you can create something out of just a few materials is good enough for me. Let's put some more little bumps in here. Look. Again, little upside down U shapes. We'll call them N shapes if you want. Maybe flick off in the teeth for a little bit of graining. Look at that, just from the top, flick towards the point. Just randomise it as much as possible. So sometimes you're doing short lines, sometimes long. That kind of thing, that looks good. In those lips, let's make those lips look a little bit more rounded. So at the moment they look like quite flat, like they're suckers on a piece of glass. Hey OZ, I hope you and the gang are able to catch up. Okay. Let's, but yeah, on these lips, let's just reinforce the shape of these lips, look, with some curves. Capital C shapes. You see how the curve, the opening of the curve is pointing in towards the centre of the character. That's kind of what you want to go for. Let's do a few down there. Let's do a few up here. Let's turn that the other way around. Let's do a few up there and a few down there. Over on the other side. See how we're changing the curve around now. And again with the spots and the circles. And you see how those spots and circles just add a little bit of extra something to your character work. Beautiful. We'll zoom out in a second so you can have a proper look at what we're doing here. But let's move down a little bit further. Now all I'm going to do down the bottom is bottom two stripes. Just going to shade those out. Again with the lines top to bottom, bottom to top. Whatever's most convenient for you. Work your way across. A little bit of effort this, but it will be worth it just to give your character a little bit more shape. Either side of the body, maybe across the chest as well. Let's go and put in some more drips, same as we did across the head. Little double drip, look. If you wanted to make something look like it's scaly, you can do a little W like this, a W and a U. W, U. W, U. Shouldn't really put it on there, but let's go and put it on there. Look. W, U. Just going to throw that in a few different places. Brilliant. Last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get into those fins. I'm going to hash those out. Main reason I'm hashing these out is because I want to leave the holes. So it looks like the membrane there has got holes in it. We're at the point now where we're just about finishing. So if you want to share your artwork in Discord, now's the time to do it. And we'll have a 5-minute look at everybody's drawings. Joff will share them in a sec. Just let me know when you're ready, Joff, and we'll start sharing people's artwork.
Yeah, we'll do. We've already had one come through.
Already had one come through. Nice. Right, we'll have a little look, shall we? Let's let me just zoom out on here and then show you. That's what the that's where we're at the moment. Probably just a few little finishing touches to put in there. So maybe some stuff around the outside. But Joff, who have we got in on the Discord? Who's this?
This is from Silent Facts.
Nice work, Silent Facts. Loving the eyes there as well with the little eyelids. I can't actually. Are they no, they're pupils, aren't they? The one where the pupil is that way round looks like a bit of a stoned eyelid, especially with the little veins in there. The one with the pupil that way around definitely looks like a pupil. Is it wearing a jacket as well? You put a jacket on it. That's awesome. That's what it looks like. It's wearing an 80s jacket. Nice. Cheers. Right, we'll have a little look at other people's artwork. The other thing to think about is just kind of just going on the outside and putting some little ink splats. If you can't think about anything to put on the outside just to finish it off, just start off with some ink splats all over the place. And then maybe we'll do some drips going up. Look, I love a drip going up. Drips going up just looks so weird. So just around your character. That kind of stuff, look. Put some little drips going up. That's the only place I've got to put drips. Put that one there, look. See how different it makes it look? Let's bring some drips in here as well. Where else? In the mouth. Can we put one in the mouth? Probably shouldn't have. Too late now. Going to come back to that and again in a second. There's some other things I want to do to it, but whilst we're waiting, let's have a look at who's this one, Joff?
This one's Tracy. So there's a couple of pieces just been uploaded. So first of all, Tracy's one.
There you go. Nice work, Tracy. Look at the extra flippers that we've got in there as well. That's looking really cool. And just as standard pupils, but still put the little ridge around them just to make those pupils look like they're proper holes in the eyes. Loving the shape of the teeth as well, mate. That's really nice. Thank you very much for sharing that, Tracy. Let's go. I'm going to put some eyelashes in on mine. Look. Let's make it pretty. Look at those. Pretty little eyelashes. What a difference that has made. Let's see who's next in the Discord. Whose is this one?
This one's from Aerotrish.
Aerotrish, that is a solid piece of work. Love that. Absolutely spot on. Looks identical to mine. Get back on with those drips though. You've got plenty of time to add some more drips in. Like I said, those upwards drips. I love how thin the lips are as well on yours. Really nice. Cheers, Aerotrish. Well done. What else can we do to mine? I'm going to put some little flies around. I always like putting little flies. I know this character is kind of meant to be underwater. But there you go. Got some little flies. Let's put some up here. Who we got next? We've got some more pieces coming in the Discord. Eventually we will have...
So this one's Sea Stitch.
Sea Stitch. Beautiful stuff. Nice mouth.
Nice thick lines on them.
Yeah. I'm loving the thickness of the lines. You can get away with all sorts from a thickness of line point of view. The main thing is Sea Stitch is if you're drawing thick lines, try to have as many thick lines underneath stuff. So like where you've got that belly across the base there, that's where you want a thick line. Where you've got underneath the mouth, the opposite way to where the shadows are coming from, try to have those bits as the thick lines. The only consistent thing about your line work should be how inconsistent it is. If it's inconsistent everywhere, it looks very intentional. If it's smooth everywhere and then you've got this one line that looks thick, it's not going to work out. So if you get a thick bit in one place, just go and put a thick bit in another place and it just balances it all out really nicely. I'm loving the little eyelashes. Little hairs I think you've put in on this one all over the place. I'm liking that. I'm going to steal that idea. Thank you. Who was this one again?
Sea Stitch.
Sea Stitch. Yeah, nice work, Sea Stitch. So let's go and steal C Stitch's idea of some little hairs. Look at that, just flick off a few little lines. I'm using my fat Sharpie. Let's do some from inside. Let's give it a hairy lip as well. Look, why not? When you're doing hairs, you want to stab, flick, stab, flick. The stab gives you a follicle, the flick gives you the hair. Let's put some up at the top here as well. Look. Nice, great idea, C-Stitch. Let's get back. This has got to be, this is OZ, yeah?
Yeah, that's right.
Nice work, OZ. OZ, is this yours or is this one of the gangs? It's coming to something when I can't tell the difference. It looks like one of yours. It's got a touch of finesse that you can only get with real experience. But look at that. Look at the plaster on the eye. I really like the plaster on the eye. I always like putting like, is that a plaster or is that like a panels of wood? Could be panels of wood. I'd be tempted to, you see the lines you've got in the fins at the top, I'd be tempted to bring those down in the bottom as well. So there's a bit of consistency between the two. But I'm really digging that what looks like a plaster on the eye. So let's go and steal that idea. This is now my thing. I'm just going to steal people's ideas. Let's go and put a plaster across the head. Plaster like a soft square rectangle. Let's call it a rectangle. And then a smaller rectangle on the inside. And then just go and put in some little circles. Nice. Maybe give it a little drop shadow if you want to make it look like it's properly attached. Like that. I'll just put a little bit of blood coming out of that. Nice. Cheers, OZ. Thank you for the inspiration. Next up, who have we got next up?
This is Adam.
Good morning, Adam. For those of you that don't know, Adam has been up since 3 a.m. 3 a.m. so he can draw while his family sleep. This is the kind of rock and roll lifestyle that we're leading here. I'm really chuffed that you've gone in with blues as well. I always I always have a bit of a fear of not using a black pen. But every time I see somebody who's done something in just colour, it always looks really insanely good. And that does look nice. I like the fact there's a few different shades of blue as well. Excellent stuff. Nice work, mate. Cheers, Adam. Thank you very much. What am I going to steal from Adam's? He did something blue, didn't he? Let's go and grab a blue. You're making me use colour, mate. What are you doing to me? Let's go and grab a blue. What should we do in blue? Let's go and put a little bit on the tongue. Maybe a little bit on the tooth. A little shadow there, look. Maybe a little bit around the eye. Yeah, not too much. Don't want to go overboard. He says, carrying on. Okay, a little blue for Adam. Cheers, mate. Just softens it up a little bit. That's really nice. Who's up next? Wow. Who's this, Geoff?
This is from Natalie.
Love it, Natalie. Look at those eyelashes. So you've done loads of stuff different here. And I'm assuming that was all decision making rather than falling behind or not paying attention or being distracted. But look at the stuff that Natalie's done different on hers. One is the eyelashes, nice and big. They look superb. Really like that. We've got some thicker stripes across the nose. Again, that looks fantastic because that looks like there's a bit of a pattern coming in across the nose. Also, we haven't got the pointy head. That'll be because the spiral binding won't it? But how cool does that look with just a flat head across the top? It's got a nice like keyhole shape to it, which is fantastic. And yeah, you've gone with those little W's and U's for the scales on the character. Pupils look insanely good as well. Nice big fat pupils. Beautiful shapes that you've done with that one, mate. Okay, let me steal a couple of... I'm going to steal your fat eyelashes because they look great. I'm going to make my eyelashes bigger. This is what I love. You know, you always want to be doing something where you can just tweak things a little bit. That's why I love using Posca pens. But you know, you can do this stuff with just normal pens. Look how much different that looks. Now we've got those bigger eyelashes. Cheers, Natalie. Well done, mate. Next up, Ozzy.
This is back to OZs again.
Back to Ozzy.
They're saying finished, hopefully. They think.
Nice work. So I can definitely see that you've finished the flippers down the bottom. You've added a little bit of line work to that. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that you've added since last time round to see what my memory's like. Is it that? Is it those? Yes.
Was it some shading? Can't remember.
I think it's those eyelashes, mate, isn't it? I'm cheating. I've just
got to spot the difference.
Yeah, I found Ozzy's old picture, so I'm cheating a little bit. But yeah, I think eyelashes are in there, and the shading on the flippers. Beautiful stuff, mate. Cheers, Ozzy. Well done. And yeah, don't worry about that spiral binding, Natalie. It's all good, mate. It's all good. Sometimes you just gotta, you know, when things aren't always going to plan, usually that's when the magic happens when it comes to your drawings, because you gotta, you know, your brain is almost kind of like in neutral, just kind of going through. And as soon as something's like weird happens, like you come up against a spiral binding or you make a little mistake or something like that, I believe that's when your brain kind of shifts up a gear. And that's the only way of getting your brain more imaginative is by making those mistakes or coming up against those obstacles. So it is good. Right, I think we're going to wrap up just there. Thank you very much for taking part. Bad news, I'm afraid we're not going to be around for the next 2 weeks. So you've got a 2-week break from Let's Draw, unless Joff is going to jump on and do some lessons on his own. It's possible. Keep an eye on the social.
No, it's not going to happen.
We're not doing that. We're going to take a 2-week break. And then we'll be back again. We'll have some more guest artists in for you, and we'll do some more drawings like this. In the meantime, please do me a favour and just share the living daylights out of all of this. Should we just quickly have a look at Scott's artwork? Scott's just dropped some artwork in. We're just going to have one quick look at Scott's artwork, if you can bring that up for us, just because it looks insanely good. It just caught the corner of my eye. Let's have a little look at that. How good is that? Just like the black and white, touch of colour. Even got a patch on its forehead. That's great. The little bits of red around the eyes make it look like hearts. Yeah, Scott, that's awesome, mate. Really digging that. It just goes to show you don't need every single colour. You know, black and white, just stick one accent colour on and you're good. Especially if it's an accent colour that works, like with the pink in the tongue or the red in the tongue. Nice work, mate. Right. Cheers. Yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, so first of all, Max, you've only just stumbled upon the videos. I love them. Never draw ever. However, when I saw someone watching one of your videos, I couldn't help notice how much fun it is. You know, if you're drawing it and it's not fun, you're not doing it right. I'm all about kind of making it stress-free and enjoyable. So yeah, hopefully we'll catch you here every Wednesday. Oh, mate. Joff, we've got more, haven't we, to see? It's like I'm trying to end this session, but these are too good not to share. Silent Thax.
Yeah, just one more thing.
One more after Silent Thax, yeah? Look at that. That's awesome, mate. So there's a couple of things. I only just noticed that little drip in the eye across the top of the eyebrow. They're really nice. But also the extra details on the jacket now. It's just giving was it like turtle vibes? Yeah. It's a turtle's head. Yeah, that's brilliant, mate. That's a strong finish. Nice. It looks like you're going to do something on the background as well. That little squiggle that you've got going on in the background, that'd be cool to see that all over the place. Maybe with a bit of colour on. You're working digitally, you can throw in some colour nice and quick, can't you, mate? I'm sure you can. Right, we'll have one more. No, at least it's good. We're just going to dig in to see Jeremiah's. Thanks for drawing with us, Jeremiah. Let's see Jeremiah's piece. There we go. That's brilliant, mate. Really loving that. Wonky lines for the win, which are absolutely perfect. Did I not tell everybody to shade in the bottom feet? Is that a thing like you lot have just decided to do without me? Clearly it is. But yeah, it looks great, mate. Nice and cute. You've made it look quite happy, which is brilliant. And yeah, loving the line work. Absolute attention to detail with the line work. Cheers, Jeremiah. Well done, you. There we go. Right, we are going to wrap up now. So yeah, subscribe, like, share, follow. Replay videos will be available on YouTube, so go and watch those to your heart's content. If anybody's got any artwork, just use the hashtag. What's that hashtag? Let's use the hashtag Corp Dogs Let's Draw. I don't know. Use the hashtag Doodle with Corp. Post it on your socials, hashtag Doodle with Corp, and yeah, we'll have a little look out for your pieces. That's it then. So thanks again for tuning in.
Don't forget the download.
Oh yeah. Download. One last thing. Download. I'm about to now go out and put the colouring book download on there. So anybody that's been watching today, you've got 24 hours. We'll give you 24 hours. And this is my 24 hours, not Joff's. Joff's 24 hours usually lasts about 3 days. So it's my 24 hours. This time tomorrow, you won't be able to download it anymore. So go to the webpage. See the webpage down the bottom there, corpacademy.com. Let's draw. In 5 minutes, there will be a button right at the top of the webpage, and you can download a free colouring book. 40 pages of weirdness for you to colour in. So, yeah, have fun with it. And, yeah, me and Joff will see you in a few weeks. So, thanks, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.